Hello and welcome, I'm the DreamWiz and today I'd like to show you the Monarch. This ship I've just made, it's the most complex ship I have ever built, really. It took me quite a while to make this one and I'm very happy how it turned out. The reason around the ship was to make a large, functional vanilla exploration ship, as it were, and of course make it vertical because that's just the way those ships looks best, in my opinion. Really, it's just my thing. Yeah, well, let's just show you the inside, shall we? The cockpit was actually a bit of a weird one for me because I never really do those massive cockpits, but this one turned out really nice, and I thought I'd go with a keyhole kind of design, which you can see has turned out perfectly, really, exactly the way I wanted it to. The cockpit itself, it's elevated. It's not very practical, but it looks nice enough, I suppose. It has multiple backup cockpits because that's very useful when you're in a fight. The large view, well, it gives you a lot of view, this cockpit. If I were to sit in this, my character is currently not here, but if I were to sit in this I can basically see all of this, which is amazingly useful. Of course, backup cockpit over here and one down there below. I got a few med bays and remote control behind here, but that's not very important. I have an elevator over here. It's completely functional. I will use my character, if I can find him, to activate it in a minute. This elevator goes down to the hangar floor, the main hangar, the upper hangar. This is, well, as you can imagine, these doors open. I might as well just walk over to it. I'll get to that back in a moment. There's a modified Bigfoot over there that I can show you. Let's just first demonstrate the elevator. It's I might as well do it. I mean, not that big of a deal, right? So this is the elevator. Works easy enough. There we go. Up and down, as it were. Nothing really complex about this. I mean, there's a button to stop it in case you want to view the hangar, which I just pressed there, and a convenient button just to open the hangar doors. There are multiple buttons for this. This isn't the only one, but it's there just for convenience, nothing more. Let's just resume the elevator so we can go further. Hangar itself is very basic. Basically, it's a hangar, just a big open room. What you expect, right? Let's go down to, let's see, the timer room. Of course, multiple backup cockpits. I really like those because they give me a big edge in a fight. And I have actually quite a lot of fights in this game with with a friend of mine. So yeah, that's basically the one thing that keeps me going usually. As you can see, I have a lot of timers here, and some of them are running because I have searchlights on the sides of the wings, which I will show you shortly, of course. If I'm not mistaken, there's one more room. Yes, not a timer room, but these timers are dedicated to the deployal and retrieval of the Bigfoot, the modified Bigfoot I have here. It's an MK2, so it has 4 legs, which is the most effective means of movement when it comes to mechs, really legged mechs. Another cockpit over here for convenience again, and then we have a vent, which is unusual for me. I usually don't spend much time in the interior, but this ship really has a very nice interior, and my larger ships are also usually very slow, but I've spread, as I've just flown past it, multiple gyroscopes and a lot more than I usually do. So there are gyros throughout the ship, everywhere, so basically, and it goes all the way down. Then around here we don't have any gravity anymore. Oh, that's right. 4 backup generators. Of course, there are glasses in front of it and all that. I know, weak points and all, but it's an exploration ship. It's not made for combat, really. It doesn't. It does have a shield though, which I will, excuse me, demonstrate in a moment. Well, let's take a look at the exterior, shall we? Well, this ship started out to be actually a lot thinner, as you can see at the bottom here. I started with this point, and then I went up from there. It got a lot thicker and just more robust, really, more, yeah, armory, if that's a word. I use less sophisticated stuff. I made it really sophisticated down here. Well, sophisticated. It just looks a lot more complex than the most parts. Those antennas over here, by the way, are just to break the whole, just to give it a little, so that it isn't that simple over there. That's what I meant. Of course, this is the hangar where the modified Bigfoot is in, which I will open on the outside shortly. I have multiple turrets in the sides. As again, these were added last because it's just not made for combat. It's an exploration ship. These are just to defend against asteroids. This is the hangar, and let's go up, 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 and then we have the cockpit, which is massive, absolutely massive. That's the biggest part of my ship. I don't know why I made it that big, but I like it. And the overall design, I'm very happy with. It looks basically exactly the way I imagined it to. I actually tried though to made 2 wings on each side, like in the armpits of the wings, as it were, if you understand what I mean. There were a rotor and then another rotor, and on that rotor were then wings to rotate and turn and twist the solar panels, but that didn't really turn out as well as I hoped to. It did look kinda cool, but something was off, and when I was flying, the wings just hung behind me, which was weird. So I just removed them and made extra thrusters over there. As you can see, here are the main reactors. If I just go into, let's see here, F8 is what I mean. If I can find it. Let's see here. Right, so the main reactors are over here. There are 4 of them in total. I might have removed one, I don't know. Doesn't really matter though. Yeah, 3 large ones in total, and there are a few small ones over here. Well, I say a few, it's about 8 of them, but still. A large container and a secondary beacon, which I forgot to mention when I walked past there. This is a distress beacon, basically. It's nothing more really, just a distress beacon to turn on when you're in trouble. So yeah, that's basically the ship. Let's just open up and deploy the Bigfoot, and we will continue to the crash. Wait, well, I haven't shown the wings, have I? Well, let's show this then anyway, because I'm actually a lot more proud than I should be on this part. The Bigfoot is lifted down, then the grappler, I call it, pushes it, and at the same time connects to it to push it forward out of it, so you can just step in, turn on the thrusters and fly away. I have also a few buttons. If you look over there are a few buttons to be used just to do it more quickly than just going into the interface and doing it all there. That said, I can actually activate it from the inside. It's easier that way. There we go. And we will quickly fly out again. As you can see, it just basically disconnects from the lower part, the one that's now connected, and it connects to the upper part, and it gets lifted up so that you have access to the ship from the catwalks. It's basically just, I came up with it like a repair bay, as it were, but it ended up being just a private bay for the Bigfoot mechs. Anyways, I have a few solar panels on here because I have a lot of batteries. They're not necessary, but I like to have them anyways. Again, the wings with a few color decorations, really nothing very interesting, but still enough to make it not seem so monotone in color. And as you can see, these searchlights, as I call them, they turn constantly on the timer. They're on a cycle, as it were, so they constantly move. They keep moving and turning around, and no, they're not technically they're not searching for anything. They're just shining their lights everywhere, but they're doing it at somehow it's some bit of a random-ish rate, so it makes it really look like it's a searchlight, which was my intention. So, well, yeah, let's just fly it for a moment, actually, to show you that this is actually a more maneuverable ship than it looks. It's very fast, which is surprising to me, really. The size is, well, whilst the size is actually, it looks larger than it really is, actually. If it were to be a vertical ship, it would just be a very thin, long vertical ship, horizontal ship, sorry. Because it's like this big tower, it looks a lot larger than it is, and it's only actually about let's see here, info. Why in the info? I should be in the info. There it is. In the right lower corner, you can see the mass. It's about 6 million kilograms, which is actually pretty decent for a large ship. It's not that heavy, really. I'm sure it's heavy, I mean, no argue about that, but it's not that heavy. Let's close these doors and just quickly fly it around the asteroid and back. I turned on something I didn't know what. Oh, okay. Yeah, as you can see, it's a lot faster than most of my ships, and the doors were malfunctioning there. Come on. Thank you. Now please activate the safety lock. I have a timer on there that activates deactivates the door so that they don't open again. But I think they might have broken some. No, okay, they work. But as you can see, it's not actually slow. It accelerates pretty good. Decelerates even better, apparently. And the turn rate is normal. Well, this is compared to most of my ships, so it's not that great compared to the ships of other people, of course, but it still is good. And as you can see, what I mentioned about the cockpit is that you have a great view. There's nothing really obstructing the view aside from the little defense barrier I put around it, just so. Well, it's more of a decorative. Yeah, it's more of a decoration, really, but I think it can be defensive. From when you're attacked from a side, it would be useful in defense. But hey, well, I'll be honest, it's just decoration, really. There. But as you can see, it's not slow. It actually functions fine, and I have a shield on there, which really tanks the power, as you can see. I won't overload if I'm not mistaken. That's basically the most amount of power you can get out of it, which is 99.31%. So that's actually pretty decent. That makes it so that it doesn't really never really overloads and allows you to deflect most of my own weapons, which I will demonstrate right about now. I think I will just go crash it and show you its weaponry, as I do with all my ships. So please enjoy.